Good morning. Well, it's Friday, and if you've been watching my videos, you know what that means. When it's Friday in Lent, that means that we try not to eat meat. So we either go meatless or we eat fish. Now, the other funny thing is that my husband is not a big fan of fish. I think I've said that before. So let me tell you a story about what happened this morning. So this morning we were going on a walk, and it felt really new because, Robert has only been retired for a few days, and so we really don't always take long walks in the morning, but we did this morning because we were like trying out our new lifestyle. We took a long walk, and as we're walking, he's calling out restaurants to me. He said to me, well, he said, what if we order takeout tonight? And he said, we could order from Chili's. We could order from The Habit. He's seeing restaurants as we walk down the street and mentioning maybe we could order takeout. And I'm wondering, where is this coming from? Why is it that he wants to order takeout? Now, normally, you should know also during quarantine, we've probably ordered takeout since March of last year, maybe at the most a dozen times, mostly when my children are here. We just don't order takeout, and it's not because I'm a great cook or because I love to cook. It's just we have felt like it's the safest thing, and takeout is sometimes, kind of gloppy and not great when it gets away from the kitchen. So anyways, we don't really order takeout. So he had this big idea we were going to order takeout, and I'm thinking, where is this coming from? So then he says to me, I know if we don't order takeout, you're going to make me eat those horrible salmon patties tonight. So poor guy, he was trying to protect himself. Now, also, I've said, he is completely generous. If I would have served him salmon patties, he would have eaten them and not complained. But he doesn't really like them. So he was trying to prevent an outcome that he didn't want. So instead, I'm going to make a homemade pizza, a homemade potato pizza tonight. And I'll show you how I do it. Unlike other recipes that I have made before on the video, I have actually tried this pizza. It's not like something I've never tried before. I've made it several times before. It's pretty easy, and it looks pretty great, and it tastes great too. So I've even served it to guests. So today we're gonna do potato pizza so that Robert doesn't have to have salmon patties on Friday in Lent. The first thing that you have to do is you have to have the potatoes, which I happen to have the potatoes. I have actually all of the ingredients, which is why I came up with this brilliant idea when I realized he was searching around for a way not to eat salmon patties. You just have to have the potatoes. So here I have my potatoes. I have one large potato. These two little guys are potatoes from my garden. So that's kind of exciting. We'll have some potatoes from my garden. And you're supposed to have 1 pound of potatoes. So I have this is the potato recipe. It's called the Lydia Potato Pizza. I can put that on the website. I'm just going to measure and make sure that I have, or weigh and make sure that I have a pound here. So that's about 0.87. With these two little guys, it's 1.0. So that's my pound, and I'm going to put them and boil them right now, and then I'll show you what the next step is. Well, it's the afternoon. I've boiled the potatoes. We just got home from our daily quarantine ritual at Wendy's, where I got a Coke. And I want to show you what I'm going to do with the potatoes. The recipe says that you should rice the potatoes. I want to show you my ricer. I'm pretty sure there is something electric that would allow you to rice the potatoes very quickly. But this is the ricer that I have, that I use, and the reason that I have it is because our cabin in the mountains has no electricity. And so when I want to do anything up there, like if I want to use a mixer or a ricer or anything like that, I have to use something that is manual. And so that's what this is. This is a no electricity ricer, and I love it. And I don't think it's that much more of a trouble to do that with the potatoes than it would be to just stick them in a another kind of a pan. So I'm just going to make sure that the potato gets into little pieces, and then I'm going to let it get it riced onto the sheet pan and let it cool a little bit before I start the dough. All right, let's see how it goes. Here we go. It's working good. Get those down in there. And then you can see that what comes out is like little riced potatoes. So that's going to become part of the dough. All right, the next step is to put the flour and the baking powder and the salt into the potato mix for the dough. But I'm going to sift it over. The recipe suggests that you should sift it over the dough, so that's what I'm going to do. Sift, sift, sift. I really had to persevere with that, but there it is. Okay, and now I need to add the egg to make a smooth dough. Okay, there's the dough for the pizza. Now I'm going to oil the cookie sheet and spread the dough on the cookie sheet. Now we're going to roll the cookie dough out. And we're going to do that on a floured surface. So here I have my dough. Now I am going to roll it, I think you want to get it almost as large as the pan, as the sheet pan. It's a little bit hard to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it between parchment paper and see if that's helpful. I have a trick that I use at the end, which I will show you, that helps you get this to be as flat and as large as it needs to be. All right, I'm going to transfer it to the pan here. Move this out of the way. This is the way that I'm able to get it to be the right size. You just take a glass and you just pull it each way so that it eventually fills up the pan. Voila! Here's the last step before you pop it into the oven. So you are to top the dough evenly with mozzarella slices. Now this is where the quarantine comes in. I don't have mozzarella slices, but I do have shredded mozzarella. So I'm going to do that, 12 ounces. Let me just put that on. Okay, so the mozzarella, then you have to leave a border around the edges, which I didn't quite do there. Okay, hold on. And then the tomatoes. You're supposed to use cherry tomatoes. I didn't have cherry tomatoes. I have these little kinds of tomatoes, which I think are just fine. And it says to use 4 cherry tomatoes. I like to use a little bit more because I like to have the veggies. So I'll do a few more of those. Oops, a little more mozzarella over here. Let me put a little more mozzarella there. Mozzarella. There we go. Okay. All right, so then we have that. And then after you put on the tomatoes, then you drizzle with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, drizzle, 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 drizzle. I put a lot of olive oil on the bottom of the pan, so that should be good. Okay, 2 tablespoons of that, and then the grated cheese. Now it suggests the grated grana padano, which is a special kind of Parmesan cheese, which I don't have. I just have the regular grated Parmesan cheese, which is Parmigiano Reggiano. And I have used the grana padano, and it's lovely, but I think that this will be fine for tonight. It's just Robert and me, so, and I sometimes like to put a little more than the 4th cup, because the Parmesan really gives it a a nice sort of cheesy, salty taste. The mozzarella is much more mild. So I probably do a 1/2 cup instead of a 1/4 cup of the cheese. Whoop, that was too much there. Okay. And then the last thing is 2 teaspoons or 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. And here we go for the dried oregano. It's already looking like a pizza, isn't it? Doesn't look anything like a salmon patty. Oops. Lots and lots and lots there. Put a little bit more maybe here around. Okay. And then I have the oven preheating at 350, and I'm going to pop it in and I'll show you the final product. I just took it out of the oven. Let's take a look. I think it turned out pretty well. It's a little browner around the edges than I normally would like it, but I think it's gonna be tasty. Well, we're ready for a meatless Friday in Lent. Thank goodness, no salmon patties.